I think with the cover crops, that's, to me, in agriculture, that'll be our next step to transition from the chemical side of it to the biological side of it. I've done some reading in the last couple of days where a lot of chemicals that are coming are going to have more biological influence or chemistry, how they work on the weeds, instead of more on the salt or acidity side of it. So I think that's going to be really interesting and a lot less harmful to the environment. But if we can integrate our cover crops and help control the weeds, suppress weeds, whether it's through moisture or just overall cover, it's just going to be good.
Each person that chooses to grow them has need to ask questions for themselves of what they intend to do with them and how they fit in their operation and in the rotational plan. There can be cases where we do plant covers and either we do not get the recharge or the moisture cycles, either in rainfall or snow, that they can have a detrimental effect. But we also, there's a factor in there of what they are improving with organic matter and keeping that ground shaded and water savings by not allowing the sun and the wind to continually whisk that moisture away. So there's a trade-off. I'm still in the process of where they need to fit on my operation. With the irrigation, we do have the ability to apply moisture in those dry times that we can't just flip a switch or turn a motor on for the dry land. So it's probably a little more, I want to say, user-friendly to fit the covers in the rotation in the irrigation, and probably a little more management trying to get them to fit in the dry land. And knowing what our moisture restrictions are and could be. So it is easier to fit them into an irrigation because you have the water. But you also have to remember that it is a resource that we need to watch and be careful with and save. And we feel that with the 100% no-till and our different rotations that we're able to do that with a whole lot less water and energy.
My goals, which kind of correlate with some of the others, I think, is being able to change that soil to where we get the infiltration and then to build the organic matter to hold the water that comes in. And I think until we can change those two things, which we have seen some huge strides in the last 2 years on that, but until we can change those two things, we won't be able to grow cover crops. But I think as we change that soil, they will actually flourish, and we will probably be able to start stacking enterprises onto that ground, and economically, the sky's the limit, I think, as far as what you can do on an acre of ground out here. In our area, people really think if you plant something, you should harvest something. And it's next to impossible to watch that stuff grow and not, I mean, I don't know how many guys come by and want to hay it. And so it's next to impossible to just, the idea of just growing something and leaving it out there is a hard hurdle to get over. But, so we brought cattle in so we didn't have to jump over it. We just kind of used it. And it worked. It worked in our area.
In our operation, we've used the cattle like John has with the cover crops. And I think it's another profit center to walk, instead of trucking your commodities off the land for profit, you're going to walk it off and profit off the hoof, on the hoof.
We can grow them. I mean, we can grow a lot of things. We have great soils and great climate. So not being able to grow them is not the problem. It's how they fit into our systems and what we want to have them do for us. We can use them for grazing for cattle and livestock. We can use them for soil cover, for water savings, to break up disease cycles. There are a lot of factors that they can do. Soil health, lagoons with the nitrogen. It's finding where they fit for an individual purpose. But they will work.